This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Joel Denyai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. On Tuesday, President Barrow held talks with executive members of the Medical Dental Association of the Gambia, during which the members briefed the president on their functions. In a recent press briefing, the outgoing Minister of Tourism, Hamad Nkeba, among other things, commented on the National Assembly Petition Committee's report into alleged corruption and abuse of office at the GT Board. Now, following an investigation into reports of corruption at the National or GT Board, the National Assembly members call on the public to formally report or share any evidence of abuse of office by public officials to Parliament. At the 148th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the Deputy Speaker of the Gambia's National Assembly, CDSK Njai, said the Gambia strongly condemns all forms of violence by Israel against the Palestinians and called for an end to the conflict. In sports news, the Birkama Boxbar Mini Stadium is the new home of night football matches, much to the delight of football enthusiasts. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for staying in with us. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Jul Denjai, and now to the stories. On Tuesday, President Barrow held talks with executive members of the Medical Dental Association of the Gambia, during which the members briefed the president on their functions. Aliou Cisse was there, and he now reports.
Executive members of the Medical and Dental Association of the Gambia, led by its president, Dr. Lamin E.S. Jaite, and Vice President Dr. Keba S. Marina, are at the State House to discuss with President Barrow the objectives of their association in line with his government's aims and objectives to improve healthcare delivery for the people. Dr. Lamin E.S. Jaite, President of the Medical and Dental Association of the Gambia, said they had a fruitful discussion with the President as they shared with him some of the challenges they faced.
Key among those challenges was the welfare of doctors, because as you all know, when the welfare of doctors and the healthcare providers in general are taken care of, it increases their efficiency at work, and this translates to the quality of service or services that are delivered to the recipients, which in this case is the general populace.
Dr. Jaite said the President expressed delight at meeting them and gave assurances of his government's support to the association to better improve the health sector. The Medical and Dental Association of the Gambia was founded in August 1980 with the aim of safeguarding the ideals of the medical profession, which includes promoting standards of practice and also improving the welfare of medical and dental practitioners. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And now the outgoing Minister of Tourism, Hamad Nkeba, in a recent press briefing with tourism sector stakeholders, highlighting key achievements and challenges at the Tourism Ministry in recent years, commented on the National Assembly Petition Committee's report into alleged corruption and abuse of office at the GT Board. Loli M. Kamara has the details.
Hamad Nkeba has been Tourism Minister since 2017. Recently appointed as the Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Matters, wants to clarify some of the issues highlighted in the report, include the awarding of a contract for the construction of ecotourism camps across the country, agreement for the construction of the GT Board and the Ministry of Tourism Office Complex, and the dissolving of the board, amongst other things.
There were some staff who felt that they are super God, super, nobody should touch them, they can do whatever they want to do, and that nobody can do that. I was determined to make sure we get it done, and it was done. Then they wrote a petition alleging a lot of things, corruption, lodges not, contract not awarded, not supported by GPPPA, money being taken and all allocation. They made a lot of allegations. Went to the National Assembly. Said, we are prepared. Let them call us. We are born here, bred here. We fear no one. What we do, we know we do it rightly. We may not be perfect, but we can stand anywhere and defend our decisions. And if any one of them have evidence, let them go and put it to the committee.
A petition was sent to the Parliament by some members of the GT board staff in 2021. Since then, senior officials of the board, including Minister Ba, have appeared before the Parliament.
When I went to meet the committee, the first thing I did was to tell the chairman to lead petitioners. That is Sheikh Omar Ba, my own brother, Lamin Bojan, have issues that he, the chairman, needed to know. And I told the chairman, you are in the same party with Lamin Bojan. Therefore, you cannot be chair of this committee.
Former tourism minister also spoke about the constructing of the lodges and one of the petitioners.
They said the lodges, there was corruption. The national audit immediately conducted an audit of all these lodges and their processes. Go and check, the audit report is there. He has it. Why are you talking about lodges when the Auditor General have audited the lodges and found no wrongdoing in the entire process, with an exception of payment procedure? Payment procedure, why should you pay, this one should pay, bala, bala, bala. Nothing was found. And again, the same man, committee, they said there was no GPP approval in the allegation. GPP said they approved it.
In attendance at this briefing was newly appointed Minister of Tourism, Abdoulaye Job. QTV News, Loliam Kamara.
Still on Assembly matters, National Assembly members on Thursday called on the public to formally report or share any evidence of abuse of office by public officials to the National Assembly. The call came during the National Assembly's debate on the report and resolutions of the Public Petitions Committee following an investigation into reports of corruption at the GT board. And Sumana Esonyasi was there, and this is his report.
As they deliberated the merits of the resolutions and report of the Public Petitions Committee into a petition filed by staff of the Tourism Board alleging corruption and abuse of office by senior officials of the Ministry of Tourism and GT Board, parliamentarians criticized what they termed the unrelenting reports of abuse of office by certain public officials. They urged the institution of strong mechanisms to serve as deterrent to unwelcoming behavior in the public service that could derail development. Tabling the committee's resolutions for adoption, the Vice Chair of the Public Petitions Committee, nominated member Honorable Fatmata Jawara, shared details of their findings. Among other things, she highlights the committee's findings, which she says to a large extent corroborates many of the allegations in the petition.
The Finance and Public Account Committee, FPAC, must further investigate who gave the authority to build a hotel at Vara, was eventually abandoned, costing millions, and report back to the National Assembly on or before the 1st of September 2024.
In their interventions, members for Kiang West, Janjambure and Brikama North, Honorable Lamin Sise, Omar Jame and Alaji S. Dabo, respectively, called on the public to formally report any evidence of corruption or abuse of office to Parliament, adding that corruption is a cause resulting in enormous loss to the state and erodes trust in public institutions. They also called on heads of agencies, ministries and public enterprises to promote ethical behavior by setting a clear tone at the top, as abuse of office by senior public officials makes policies less effective or enforceable. Hence, the need for political commitment to help create strong fiscal institutions that promote integrity and accountability throughout the public sector.
If you wrongfully terminated someone, you've committed a crime. You have violated someone's right. And the committee is telling us that the person must be reinstated. What if during the time when they were sitting at home without getting any salaries?
Where on earth should one allow such a conduct to happen? And this is cross-cutting. This reminded me, I think last year or year before last, where in one of the government projects, over $5 million was injected on the advice of a particular consultant. And go and see what is happening in that side. And it's the same story with these ecologists. If you go to Kunkilim Forest Park, it's very sad. Nothing is being done other than the foundation stone. You go to Bara, where they build the lodge, it's a swampy area. I don't think anyone in your rightful sense will identify such a site for an investment, if really you are a true Gambian.
Those people down there who will say anything that happened just now, they will say, what is the National Assembly doing? What can the National Assembly do? If anything happens to you, if you feel that something happened to you against your right or whatsoever, you cannot just sit at the corner trying to point fingers at the National Assembly that we are not doing anything.
The Public Petitions Committee's findings highlight impropriety and disregard for established procedures in the awarding of contracts, staff termination and misuse of funds, among others. And the report makes resolutions to that effect, including recommendations for the reinstatement and compensation of staff whose terminations the committee established were unjustified. Answana Nyasi for KTV News.
Interesting deliberations there. Now the report by Ansumana Esonyasi will take us to a commercial break. When we return, we have local and sports news stories for you. Don't go away.
The Gambia is proud to host the 15th OIC Summit on the 4th and 5th May 2024, the second largest gathering of world leaders, kings, presidents, rulers, prime ministers, along with delegates from 57 member countries of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation will gather in our beloved nation for this historic event. The theme of the summit is enhancing unity and solidarity through dialogue for sustainable development. It's a platform to foster cooperation, promote peace and drive sustainable development across the Ummah and the world at large. We call on all Gambians to unite and support the government as it strives to host a memorable and successful event. Let's showcase our hospitality, culture and the beauty of the Gambia to the world. Join us in making history. Let's stand together, united as one, to ensure the 15th OIC Summit in the Gambia is an event to remember. Together, we can make a difference.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News, and now to the rest of our stories. Now, speaking in Geneva, Switzerland, at the ongoing 148th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the world's largest gathering of parliamentarians, Deputy Speaker CDS Kenjai said the Gambia strongly condemns all forms of violence and aggression by Israel against the Palestinians as he advocated to an end to the conflict. Aliu Sise reports.
Deputy Speaker CDS Kenjai, who is heading the Gambia's delegation, is among over 100 heads of national parliaments currently meeting in Geneva, Switzerland, for the 148th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union under the theme Parliamentary Diplomacy, Building Bridges for Peace and Understanding. Deputy Speaker CDS Kenjai said that in a world troubled with division, uncertainty and chaos, parliamentary diplomacy is a critical means to fostering peace, dialogue and mutual understanding. He said the enduring Israeli-Palestinian conflict underscores the urgent need for concerted efforts towards peace and reconciliation.
The government and people of the Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, stands in solidarity with the international community in condemning all forms of violence and aggression, particularly the recent Israeli military operations in Gaza. These operations have resulted in the loss of innocent lives, widespread destruction to properties, and profound humanitarian suffering. We echo the call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and across Palestine to prevent further bloodshed and alleviate the dire humanitarian situation facing the Palestinian people. The recent submission of the Gambia to the International Court of Justice serves as a powerful testament to our commitment as a nation to upholding international law and promoting peace and justice. In this submission, the Gambia emphasized to the ICJ that Israel's occupation of Palestine is illegal and must be ended immediately.
He reinforced the Gambia government's commitment to upholding international law, human rights, and UN General Assembly resolutions as the foundation for any meaningful and lasting resolution to a peace and just world.
My delegation and I call on the United Nations Security Council to act positively and pass a unified resolution to condemn Israel and end the war. In this vein, we emphasize the importance of accountability and justice for all parties responsible for violence of international law and human rights. The government of the Gambia calls for thorough and impartial investigations into alleged atrocities committed during the recent military operations in Gaza, with a view to holding perpetrators accountable and ensuring justice for the victims. Furthermore, we reiterate our unwavering support for the legitimate aspiration of the Palestinian people to establish an independent and sovereign state of Palestine, with East Jerusalem referred to in Arabic as Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital, based on the pre-1967 borders.
The Interparliamentary Union, IPU, a global organization of national parliaments, was founded in 1889 and dedicated to promoting peace, democracy, and sustainable development through parliamentary diplomacy and dialogue. It has grown into a global organization with 180 member countries. The 147th Assembly was held in Luanda, Angola last year. The Assembly is expected to conclude with the adoption of an outcome document on the overall theme of the general debate. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, Xavier Nursery and Lower Basic School on Monday inaugurated 10 classrooms at its premises in Farato in the West Coast region. The event was attended by the sponsors, Friends from Holland, and members of the community. Loli M. Kamara attended, and this is her report.
This is the newly built classroom block at Xavier Nursery and Lower Basic School. School authorities say the gesture by Friends from Holland is a significant milestone that will enhance teaching and learning at the school. Simon Sutamendi, the proprietor of the school, while recalling the cordial relationship with the Hollandese friends, expressed gratitude for their unwavering support.
When I first met my friend Haman in 2015 with his beautiful wife, Mariam, the fight, the battle of bettering education in this country, in this school, become easy for me. For I was not fighting the battle alone. When he came on board with his family, his school, his friends, and other companies that he involved in assisting us financially, things become light. Since that day to date, every year, he will organize students like the ones you are seeing today to come and experience, to come and give us courage, to come and complement our efforts, to come and work with us, to come and experience what we do here in the Gambia.
Basiru Sanya, the Parent Teachers Association chairperson, and Fatu Saho, a representative of the Mothers Club respectively, both commended the sponsors for this invaluable support.
As we celebrate this significant milestone, it is imperative that we also look towards the future and ensure the sustainability of our new building. We are committed to implementing eco-friendly practices such as energy-efficient systems and sustainable materials to minimize our environmental impact and promote a healthier school environment for future generations.
I
want to sincerely thank the team from Holland. We, the Mothers Club, are very grateful. I must also thank the teachers for their tireless efforts in ensuring that our children get the best education. Haman van der Muller is the head of delegation from Holland.
In the heart, and education
without the heart is no education at all. Because it's a combination, as we say also at Nyenrode, the balance between the head and the heart, and just realize it with your hands in action. And I'm so proud, we are so proud of the Nyenrode community, together with the school, the staff, the parents, all the people present here. We appreciate it.
Sophia Connix spoke on behalf of her colleagues.
This is not about us. This is about you. This is about the children and the teachers. This new school gives the possibility to learn, to laugh, to be grateful, to motivate, to enjoy, and to develop ourselves.
Established in 2008, over 500 students are enrolled at Xavier Nursery and Lower Basic School. The event featured presentations of gifts, drama, and students reading poems, among other activities. Certificates were also awarded to the contractors for their dedication and professionalism in building the classrooms. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Laudable initiative there. Now the report by Lolly M. Kamara takes us to sports news. Now, the Brikama Box Bar Mini Stadium is the new home of night football matches to the delight of football enthusiasts. The inter-ward tournament amongst the town's 24 wards is the go-to attraction for the night entertainment. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga was there on Monday night to witness Sane Kunda take on Brikama Medina, and he now reports.
Another night football in Brikama. This time is the Intercabulos. That's the 24 wards in Brikama today. It's going to be between Sanekunda and Brikama Medina who are going to play. The two teams came out of the dressing room and passionate supporters are applauding them all over the place. The atmosphere looks very beautiful. Under the floodlights, night games at the Brikama Box Bar Mini Stadium. This is one of them. There has to be a winner in this encounter because it's a knockout football game. Brikama, that's why it's called the theater of entertainment as far as football is concerned. An exhilarating atmosphere complemented by some beautiful football from both Brikama Sanekunda and Brikama Medina. Even with a 10 p.m. kickoff, the fans turn out in numbers to support their teams. Nighttime football matches under floodlights is new to this stadium, but the football-loving communities of Brikama have taken it with enthusiasm. Aliu Gay Bojang says his excitement. I am here first to sell ginger juice for my wife, but not only that, I am here to watch football. This competition is organized to strengthen unity amongst communities. It is because of this tournament that I have come to know people living in my neighborhood. The tournament is organized by the Brikama Sports Committee, and its Secretary General Antumana Kamara says he is not surprised by the good turnout because Brikama is a football-loving town.
Brikama Box Bar, fondly called the Theater of Entertainment, is a community, is a place where people do come to watch, games that are even played between kids. So this is not a surprise, knowing the community of Brikama and how these people love football and this game. So for me and for a lot of people, even though the crowd that we pull out eventually turned out to be more amazing, but to me and a lot of people, it's definitely not a surprise.
The Gambia Football Federation erected the initial floodlights, but they were not bright enough for night games. So the Brikama Sports Committee added extra floodlights to make conditions at least playable, says Kamara.
When the field expansion was being done by the Gambia Football Federation, cables around some of the that connected to some of the poles, especially this one and the other one over there, actually, you know, they got defaulted. We had to hire somebody to fix some of those things. So after that, we realized that we definitely would need to adjust some lights. We decided to buy 4, even though it's not enough, but it's playable. This is why we are here today. We definitely commend the Gambia Football Federation, but again, it's definitely the effort of Brikama Sports Committee that football at night is back in Brikama.
In an end-to-end trailing finale, Brikama Sanekunda came from behind to defeat Brikama Medina 2-1. As exciting as the night football games are, more needs to be done to improve the lighting to enable the stadium to host league games and other high-profile football matches. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Congratulations there to Brikama Sanekunda for the victory. Well, I'm afraid that's all we got time for, but before we wrap up this bulletin, here's the recap of the headlines. On Tuesday, President Barrow held talks with the executive members of the Medical Dental Association of the Gambia, during which the members briefed the president on their functions. In the recent press briefing, the outgoing Minister of Tourism, Hamad Nkeba, among other things, commented on the National Assembly Petition Committee's report into alleged corruption and abuse of office at the GT Board. Now, following an investigation into reports of corruption at the GT Board, the Assembly members call on the public to formally report or share any national evidence to the Assembly to any evidence of abuse of office by public officials. Now, at the 148th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the Deputy Speaker of the Gambia's National Assembly, CDSK Njai, said the Gambia strongly condemns all forms of violence by Israel against Palestinians and called for an end to the conflict. In sports news, the Brikama Boxbar Mini Stadium is the new home of night football matches to the excitement of football enthusiasts. That's all we have for you in this edition of the Bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow for another Bulletin. Thanks for watching. But you're reminded that 9 p.m. we are having a special program on the just concluded presidential election of Senegal. Thanks for watching.